It's your favorite Compas, and we have you covered with plenty of NFL draft content. And we're not done talking WWE, but on this week's episode, for our opening drive segment, we will get into some of the draft talk involving the other quarterbacks in this draft class, like Will Levis, Anthony Richardson,
What?
and Hendon Hooker.
What?
On Compas on the NFL beat, we get into Odell Beckham Jr. signing with the Ravens, and we go over Gilbert's first mock draft for SI.com. This should be a little interesting to see what way our compa has the draft falling. All that plus our usual rapid fire and burial of the week segments, where we go over some of the big news items from the week that was in the NFL. We'll certainly discuss pop culture topics to end the show in our Una Más segment. And that reminds me, Gilberto, don't you have a question for our viewers and listeners?
Of course, Fernando. Every time, once a week. Engagement question of the week. I'm still waiting for the sound drop. That's okay. It sounds like a falling starship. What's it called? Star Wars. Whatever. We're getting off the rails here. But I do have a question for the listeners and viewers that comes on the beat, and it's draft related and maybe a little simple one, but why not? We're about a week and a half away from the draft, so let's go with the quarterbacks. And I started thinking, what would these prospects look like in 5 years? And we have 5 quarterback prospects. Yeah, I'm gonna count Hendon Hooker in there, so why not? So in the comments, let me know which quarterback prospect would be the best one in 5 years. What is that, Fernando? 2028 from now, a long time from now. So Bryce Young,
What?
CJ Stroud,
What?
Anthony Richardson,
What?
Will Levis,
What?
and Hendon Hooker. From those 5 quarterbacks, in the comments, if you're an audio, get to YouTube and comment which quarterback will have the better career within 5 years. So 2028.
That's when your tribal chief would break Bruno Sammartino's record of the all-time WWE.
And that's how we talk WWE.
I know exactly. But let's go to now. I can't wait to see what Dan and Daygo is going to be in 5 years. He'll probably be hosting a late night talk show on ABC or something like that. But for right now, we got him here. So let's go to him now.
Welcome welcome all to another glorious Wednesday. You already know what it is. It is not only hump day. It is not only one day closer to the weekend. It is the day that your favorite program, Compas on the Beat, drops a new episode. Shout out to all you for making the right decision, being in here with us. I know what you're thinking already. Dan and Daygo, look at that shirt you got on. Well, let me tell you all this. Don't you fret. You also can get an awesome shirt like this. But just like that stooge from the ShamWow commercial, wait, there's more. You can also get one of our awesome hoodies. What? A nice little hat. What? Sticker. What? And this t-shirt. What? We got it all. So do not forget to go over there and check out compasonthebeatmerch.com. Also, to get in, you'll need a password. The password is Compas exclusive. The C and the E are capital. Do not forget to go in there and show your compas some love. Do not be like certain stooges who show up places wearing random t-shirts. Rep the brand. Rep your favorite podcast out here. Shout out to all you guys. Appreciate you guys. Do not forget also, we got 2 giveaways going right now. We got, if you sign up for the newsletter on that website, you are also entered automatically for we're doing a hoodie giveaway on that one. And do not forget, the birthday boy coming soon promised you when we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, not only a hoodie, not only a hat, but also a sticker. What more do you need in a perfect bundle? Shout out to all you guys. We're almost at 1,000. Be a compa, tell a compa, don't forget. Now, let's get to it. We got a lot of great stuff going on the show. You already know OBJ got signed. We got the draft coming up. You already know your compas do it all. So make sure you stick along. Be a compa, tell a compa. By the way, it's time to get to the best damn program in all the universe. From all the way across the hallway. Play the music, Nando!
Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I am Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano. He covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? That's a very smooth intro. You were a little rocky last week, so we got that down. It's okay. We've been doing this now for the 3rd season of Compas on the Beat. And how about I ask you a question? What's up with you? How was your weekend? Because it's Easter. It's a time for everybody to have family events. And Fernando, I think I was driving by this one park in Anaheim, and I've never seen a park so crowded. And I want to say it was a bunch of Mexican families
It
because we
is.
like to go out, get
Los huevos.
together, and get on the grill. But cars were just packed. Yeah, and do the hunting, the egg hunting there. So I want to know, how was your Easter, your family?
Well, I got an Easter basket.
Oh, you're ready.
So yeah, no, yeah. Our amazing mother. For some, she's like, oh, she got us all. For some reason, she got all three of us Easter baskets. So Melissa, Daniel, and I got her one to celebrate her because she's an amazing mother and we love her. So it was awesome to see to do that. But it was cool. I actually I smoked a ham, which was awesome. I thought it was really good. Dan and Daygo, my mom, everybody that was over at the house, our family was like, dude, you're just amazing. You know what I want next? I want that trash can. The one where you put the wood in there, you light it up, and then you close it and you kind of smoke it that way. The charcoal way. I want to do that next. So I want to buy one of those things soon, but not now, but maybe down the road. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty awesome Easter. It was a good time to get together. And obviously be thankful for, I know it's not Thanksgiving, but it's still be thankful for everything that we have and everything that we want to accomplish and how we continue to grow. So, but how was yours?
Yeah, before I get there, it was good. I'm glad to hear you had a good time, but it does feel like Easter is a spring Thanksgiving, right? Like
Yeah, it does.
you get
It
together
really
with
does.
family,
Yeah.
and everybody forgets why, because he has risen, right?
Yeah, of
And
course.
people forget, from that scene of
They don't. You can go on Instagram and people will let you know.
Oh yeah, by the way, I don't want to get sidetracked.
He's
But
already burying people.
suddenly everybody is all about Jesus Christ and
Yeah,
he has
exactly.
risen, and all the posts come up on Instagram. But I'm like, oh, okay, sure, whatever. But yeah, all of a sudden you have that quote saved there. It's like
Exactly.
the ones that the tias and your mom likes to send on the WhatsApp. Like suddenly the younger kids are now saving those
I
quotes and,
know.
and posting them on IG. But
I
I'm not
thought
getting
that was
sidetracked.
hilarious.
It is like a Thanksgiving, like in the spring. And for me, it was pretty kind of like a lot of events because I had to like plan ahead. So you got the future in-laws, my current
What?
family. I have my current family. It sounds like I'm about to trade my family. My family right now.
What?
My family forever. There you go. And then a friend's gathering.
Wanda
So there was
Maria.
3 events I got to get to. So I said Thursday, you know what? My forever family. There you go. I'm gonna spend the day with them because I haven't been in Pasadena in a minute. And that was pretty cool to get together. We had dinner and I think we made I guess my mom's religious and we had you couldn't eat meat on Thursday, right? That's the
Yep.
rule. I don't
Nope.
know, Fernando.
No, we
And
don't need meat on. Yeah.
whatever. And I'm
No.
like, what? No, no beef on these tacos. So it was the papa, but it was still pretty bomb. So that was a good day on Thursday. And then I want to say
Thursday, Melissa made quesadillas with shrimp and this green
that sounds
salsa
pretty
that she
good,
made.
actually.
Oof.
You reminded me of the beach days in Nayarit because some of those
Oh, yeah.
quesadillas with shrimp are freaking bomb.
Been a minute since you've been there too, huh? Since the Mexico trip.
No, it was I want to say 2021 bye week. So
Oh yeah.
2 years. So I got to get back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the family Thursday, and then Friday with Caroline's family. It was her nephew's birthday. Now that I think about it, a year ago for his birthday, that's when we dressed up as cows. It's been 1 year anniversary. I was dressed up as a cow, and that's when I saw
And
the
somebody
park.
doesn't let you forget about that.
Yeah, I know. So shout out to that guy. And that's when I saw the park super packed. Man, I saw like everybody had a truck, by the way, and everybody was double parked. A couple of lowriders out there like Ray Mysterio, so it was pretty cool to see. And then Sunday, I hung out with Victor, producer, and our buddy Alonzo, who's a big Blue Jays fan. And his annual trip of Angels playing the Blue Jays fell on a very busy weekend, but we got it all done.
Was the park packed?
Baseball, Angel
Yeah.
Stadium. I want to say there was more Mexican families at the local park than at the Angel Stadium. But overall, it was a good crowd. I think it was opening weekend. I think it was, and but you saw a lot of empty seats. But we were in the shade, Fernando, and that was pretty crowded. I don't want to bury Alonso too much because he does listen to the show. Credit for getting us in the shade. No credit for putting us in the middle of a 20 seater aisle, and I can't get out to get beer or food when there's like, sorry. And on the right of us, there was a baby there, so I couldn't go that way. So the people on the left of me, they hated me. By the way,
That's why whenever I buy tickets, I always put my big ass on the edge because I'm like, I'm not gonna be disturbing people and like hitting them with my caboose or anything. Like, I ain't trying to do none of that. Like, I'm just gonna sit at the edge. I'll go up and go get some. Or if Dan and Daygo want something, I'm like, hey, can you bring me something? And then obviously he has to be an ass about going and getting me something, but he usually does do that. So it's wow, former Cardinals coach Cliff Kingsbury is expected to join Lincoln Riley at USC as the team's quarterbacks coach. That's very interesting. Wow, Lincoln. I thought he wasn't coming back from Thailand.
I know, right? I would have been lost there for a year for sure.
Yeah, I know, for real.
But it is get to live in LA, that's cool.
Hey, and if Caleb Williams ends up being the first overall, like, you're gonna get your hand pick of jobs next year. That's the whole like effect where you get. By the way, I actually met Caleb Williams at a WWE event last week with the Boys and Girls Club. Really nice guy. He was really chill, really calm. I saw Jordan Addison again. Really good, relaxed guys. Like, they just really are. Like, Caleb Williams, like, yeah, I'm just looking forward to this season. I'm training, working out, doing all that. I was like, oh wow, like they just didn't seem like sometimes you think of college players and you think, oh wow, but really relaxed.
That's the 2024 draft for you. Caleb Williams will be the number one pick for sure.
Yeah,
and by the way, I don't think Cliff's gonna get any jobs for helping out Caleb Williams. He's doing just fine without him, by the way.
Well, yeah, but what if the kid actually does? Like, what if his numbers just
what if he gets worse?
Well, yeah, he's gonna stay. He's gonna go somewhere else. But yeah, definitely interesting. But Gilbert, don't forget, Compas on the Beat have a website, compasonthebeat.com. Go check it out. We have a bunch of videos there. That's the way you can also reach all the different channels that we have. We have obviously What's Up Bolts. We got Compas on the Beat. We have House of Horns, and we have Combat Compas. Combat Compas right now has, like, we told you guys, like, you guys kept on saying, hey, when's Combat? Hey, it has it's fresh. It has a lot of material in there. Go check all that stuff out. We're gonna keep on flooding it with material. We're excited about the future of Combat. I mean, obviously we're excited about everything else, but the future Combat Compas, because we have a lot. We're working on some stuff, and we're hoping that to continue to grow Combat Compas. And we appreciate you guys. We literally grew almost 100, if not more, subscribers within the last week and a half.
Yeah, every time I'm getting notifications on my phone from a YouTube comment, it's always from Combat Compas. Somebody either likes your comments or they're making fun of you for saying the pipe bomb was a few years ago when it was 2012, Fernando.
And that's Danny Marcano's damn fault.
So double mention for Danny. And yes, compasonthebeat.com, not compasonthebeatmerch.com. That's the one where the merch is at. But regular compasonthebeat.com, one-stop shop for all the content like Fernando mentioned. And yeah, right now, Combat Compas, a lot of good content, and it's cool to see the WWE universe getting behind our content and really supporting it. And honestly, besides maybe a few snarky remarks, Fernando, hey, people love your insight, man. So shout out to you.
I mean, like, honestly, it's funny because that's what I was talking about with EO Sky and Dakota Kai on when I interviewed them growing up, and Dakota Kai and I guess kind of had a similar upbringing because both of us are from Catholic upbringings, and my parents were like, they would get mad because Dan and Daygo and I would stay up watching wrestling. Mom would be like, what are you watching that crap for? Like, it's all fake, it's this, it's that. I'm like, it's not fake, it's scripted, it's different, but whatever. She's like, you're never gonna be able to do anything with that, you're never gonna be able to get a job with that. And now that I'm covering it, I'm like, Mom, what's up?
Wow, you just told your mom she was wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And then she just starts laughing. She's like, I was wrong. She's like, can you imagine, like, because a few years ago, I did apply for a job there, and I was like, "Oh, can you imagine if I got this job? Like, my mom would have to watch WWE to see me in there. I'd laugh." But it's definitely funny to see that now. She obviously like has to kind of check it out, but definitely interesting. But Gilbert, it's time for our opening drive, the Compas opening drive. Gilbert, I gotta ask you.
See,
everybody keeps on talking about the top prospects and everything, the top two quarterbacks. Let's talk about the rest of the guys. We got to give them more love. Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, and Hendon Hooker. What do you think are the best landing spots for each of them?
Yeah, friendly. People are itching for NFL draft content, and they can't get enough of the quarterbacks because.
By the way, I saw Hendon Hooker keeps on rising in some people's mock. So, but right now everything's smoke and mirrors. But
Yeah,
it's interesting.
that's the thing. But I'll get to my concerns on Hendon Hooker a little later. It's like I don't know what to believe sometimes, but I'll get into that
Yeah.
one. But what makes a draft fun is when like there's good quarterbacks, but there's not a for sure number one. Like there's not like okay, it's Trevor Lawrence and that's it, or Andrew Luck or whatever it is. But like you don't know if this quarterback class is gonna be really good or maybe like mediocre. But you feel like when there's five, there might be one that's definitely a star. And with Bryce Young, it feels like he's small, but like he was a little bigger, he'd probably be for sure number one guy.
Yeah.
No hesitation. And then CJ Stroud's a bigger guy, but not as athletic. But they're for sure going to be 1 and 2.
And who would have thought that Josh Allen would have been the superstar of his class with Rosen, Sam Darnold? Lamar Jackson's still there and he's still good.
And he was number 32, by the way.
Exactly. But
Rosen,
everybody
Darnold,
thought the kid
Mayfield.
from Wyoming was not going to do anything.
There's always one. And I think that might have been the only time in the NFL draft history. Might be wrong here.
Oh, Baker Mayfield was in that one too.
Yeah, 4 quarterbacks were top 10, like you mentioned, Mayfield, Darnold, Rosen, and Allen. So here, I'm not sure if we'll get 4 that was what it said 4, right? But for sure 3, I think so. I think people are let's start there. Anthony Richardson, people are very intrigued on his upside, his potential. And I wrote this not too long ago at SI.com. It's like, yes, there's so many quarterbacks that just don't hit. Remember Jameis Winston and Mariota went 1-2. Jared Goff has mixed results, but then Carson Wentz was 1 and 2. He did not do well. We just mentioned Zach Wilson and Trey Lance, but something about Anthony Richardson that intrigues me when you mentioned the elite kind of physical traits, things you've never seen before on an NFL football field. It reminds you of Cam Newton, and Cam Newton, yeah, he's not the most polished thrower, but he still had good results. So if that's kind of like the floor, that's not a bad risk. But if the upside is like, hey, if he puts it together, is he Josh Allen? Is he Justin Herbert? Is he Patrick Mahomes? What? I think for me, that's where you take a chance and say, F it, you know what? Let's trust. I think you said it before, Fernando. Trust your coaches, bring them in, develop a scheme, and get it going. And my pick here, real quick. Do you want to go quarterback at a time, or should I go through real quick?
Yeah, let's do a quarterback at a time, I guess.
Okay. My pick for Anthony Richardson is Detroit Lions. Ben Johnson, the OC. I want to see his creativity, design plays for Anthony Richardson, and then Jameson Williams, DeAndre Swift. Who's that new running back they just got? Montgomery.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. All these pieces with a creative play caller for Anthony Richardson, I will be very intrigued for a good team like that.
I'm going to go with the Colts. I think that, but the Colts need to do. I think the Colts would need to sit him for a little bit, at least let him gain maybe that Kurt Warner, Eli Manning kind of thing where you sit him for the first 10 weeks of the season. If you're completely out of it, then you throw him in there and let him go in there and see what he can, what he's learned so far. But I think the Colts would be a good one. You've seen the way that Shane Steichen has worked so far with Justin Herbert, with Jalen Hurts. And then obviously he had worked with Phillip Rivers in the past. So it'd be interesting to see kind of his body of work with Anthony Richardson. I think Anthony Richardson would benefit being with him, with a guy like with Shane Steichen, a play caller like that. So I'm going to go Shane Steichen, or I'm going to go with the Colts.
I like Shane Steichen as a QB guru because Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert, like you mentioned, great results right there.
Yeah. The next quarterback, I guess I'll go next. My bad. Let's go with Will Levis. Will Levis is a guy that you don't know. I mean, and I had already talked about this. He's kind of a freak. He puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Check it out.
Banana. Yeah. Check out a TikTok that I made on Compas on the Beat. Definitely interesting stuff. Will that make him drop in the draft? But he's kind of a guy that nobody knows. Could he be a Justin Herbert or could he be a bust? Nobody really knows about him. They're blaming his coaches now about why he didn't perform as well. But it's can you really blame the coaches? It's not really on them. It's kind of on him. Because I remember coming out of college, everybody was blaming. I know I'm harping on it, but people were blaming Justin. But then you see him in the NFL, and you're like, well, now whose fault really is it? That Justin couldn't have put up he didn't put up that numbers like him or Josh Allen when he was in college. So it's going to be interesting to see what Will Levis is, but I have him going to the Minnesota Vikings. Why? Because I think Levis can sit for a year. I think that he learns behind Kirk Cousins, which you want him to learn kind of the good stuff from him. And then obviously Kevin O'Connell's a OC winning or Super Bowl winning OC. He's been there. He's done that. He's been around the NFL for a while. He was with Washington. He played with the Patriots. He's been around the Chargers, and now and then with the Rams with Sean McVay, and now he's the head coach in Minnesota. So I feel like Will Levis with Minnesota, it could help him grow as a quarterback and as a signal caller.
Yeah, Fernando, I'm going to be boring here too. I'm going to copy your answer, and just we're not kind of repeating here. I'm going to go off of that. Kevin O'Connell, he kind of runs a similar scheme to Sean McVay because that coaching tree there. And Will Levis's best year in college was 2021 when Liam Cohen was the OC for Kentucky. Liam Cohen has spent a lot of time with Sean McVay, even worked together with Kevin O'Connell. So just being familiar with the scheme, that might help him out. And then, like you mentioned, sit out a year, but sit for a year. And learn from Kirk Cousins, whatever you can from there.
Yeah,
but I think just learning the scheme and just kind of figuring out, because the one thing about Will Levis and why I copied you is because I don't know about this guy's, potential, because he had so many mistakes last year. And I want to say he's like a 4th-year quarterback or maybe a 5th year. And I saw like stories about he couldn't win a job at Penn State versus some guy you never heard of. That's a red flag. But then again, Joe Burrow couldn't win a job at Ohio State. So you never know when guys are ready to go. So being familiar with the scheme is big. The reason why I like Anthony Richardson better is, I think he just, needs more time to play. Like you have his untapped potential, and he's only had 1 year starting. Will Levis has a lot of tape out there. When you're that shaky and inconsistent, it's very concerning. But you're in a familiar scheme, maybe you figure it out, because 2021, like when Liam Cohen came into the Rams last year, people were raving about Will Levis. I'm like, should I watch college football for this guy? And then it was like, never mind, he was pretty bad.
Yeah, no, you're right. Joe Burrow was all over the TV on Saturday at UFC.
Oh yeah,
for
Nick
the
Bosa, Joey Bosa too.
Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa was there too. Joey Bosa still growing out the hair. That's going to be interesting to see. They said no, but I think him and Justin really are competing to see who has the best hair, because Justin keeps on growing it out. So is Joey. So definitely interesting. Last quarterback, Gilbert, is a Hendon Hooker. What do you think?
Yeah, for Hendon Hooker, I will start off, and I don't know if Victor. I think Victor does like this. Victor producer told me about this, but only if the Raiders come back and get Hendon Hooker at the back end of the first round. I don't think he will like it in number 7 overall. There was one, I forget the guy from ESPN, the former GM, who said that the Seahawks should take Hendon Hooker number 5 overall. That was pretty crazy.
What's his name from the Jets?
But I'm blanking on the name. But
Tannenbaum.
There you go. And that's kind of crazy talk. And, I am working on a story, by the way, for on SI.com about, all these draft prospects. I've been talking to people about Hendon Hooker. And the bad thing is a lot of people say, like, if you look at Tennessee's scheme, like, they do everything for him. Like, everything has to be perfect for the guy. It's all schemed up well, and it's very concerning. And then he has a torn ACL. So that's a problem. So a scheme like the Raiders, where like it's a lot of play action, maybe feed it to Josh Jacobs for a year, and then you figure it out. Maybe not a bad approach, but the people that do like him, they like his size, they like his arm strength, they like how mature he is. Like, he's 25 years old. You got to be mature. He's a smart player, so maybe it fits the right system. I don't know if the Raiders are the right system, but if he learns behind Jimmy G, maybe he does okay.
In a perfect world, Jimmy G is your quarterback for the whole year, and you're maybe competing there, so you don't have to bring him in. When you said a perfect world, you know who I had him for at the beginning? I had him going to the Chiefs. I thought the Chiefs take a shot on him. They keep him on the bench. He learns from Andy Reid, because you said they did everything for him. Maybe Andy Reid does everything for him. But then I thought, you know what? No, like, I don't think the Chiefs will go. Maybe they'll go quarterback later. Like, Charger fans are pissed off because the Chargers are working out quarterbacks. Why do we have to work out quarterbacks? Easton Stick 2.0, this, that. And I'm like, dude, they work out guys just to work them out. Like, it's not like they're not replacing Justin or anything. But the Detroit Lions, like you said, Ben Johnson, I think he would be a good, and Jared Goff doesn't get injured. He's always in there. So I think he'd be a good, Ben Johnson would be a good guy to kind of mentor him, bring him up, and hopefully he could be their quarterback of the future, because I hope I'm not wrong. His contract's up after this year, right, Goff?
I think he has another year, but you could get out of it easily
after this year,
in the offseason. So
so there you go. Yeah, so I like.
They have a second first round pick, so number 18 wouldn't be too bad.
There you go. Well, Gilbert, we're T-minus a month and a half away from my birthday, and no, it doesn't matter that it's my birthday. I don't care about that. What I care about is, don't forget, guys, we want to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube before my birthday on May 31st. Why? Because we want to hook you guys up. We want to give out a hat, a hoodie, and a sticker. I'm gonna let you guys in on something. Gilbert wasn't happy when I did that. Gilbert's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, it's my birthday. I want to celebrate it with our Compas. I want to give that out. I want to show them the appreciation for getting. We've been talking about 1,000 since we started this, so we would be appreciative if we got to 1,000 before May 31st. And we want to hook you guys up. So one lucky viewer will get a hat, a hoodie, and a sticker. And don't forget, like Gilbert was on my back about this, so don't make me regret it before May 31st. 1,000 subscribers and you get hooked up.
Hey, I'm not gonna regret it for now because we're already at 945 or something subscribers. We're pretty much there. I'll be disappointed if we don't get to 1K by your birthday because we're doing such a fast pace. So hopefully don't jinx it. But yes, I've been hogging on the giveaway, so I wanted you to have one. You did do it on the spot. I was like, okay, I guess I gotta account for another giveaway. But who am I? I'm no Grinch, right? You know, you call me the Grinch, but it's not
Only
that time
during
of the year.
Christmas.
There we go. So 1K/Fernando birthday badge giveaway. So but you need some kind of rules. Like, you get us to 1K, but also maybe we got to tell people to comment on the video. Also,
well, no, that's gonna be
the extra work.
evident.
Then how about this? Definitely help us get to 1K, but we're almost there. But for the Fernando birthday giveaway /1K subscriber giveaway, there you go. I got to think of a better name. We'll get a better name next week. Comment on this video. I will track you, and also make sure to follow us on Instagram or TikTok. If I find you somewhere else too, I'll give you 2 votes for the giveaway. So follow us at Compas on the Beat for IG and TikTok, and then for Twitter, maybe 3 votes at Compas OTB. There you go.
And we already got our lucky viewer when we got to 900. We already hooked him up. He already has his sweatshirt. He was excited about it. So nice. Again, we appreciate you guys so much. And now, Gilbert, it's time for Compas on the NFL. Gilbert, you released your mock draft 2023 for SI.com. Now, I'm going to go first this time because I want to tell you what I thought. Man, I think it's exactly, and that's without trades and all the madness. But
yep.
I think this draft, Gilbert, everything's been crazy about this. This season was weird. The offseason's been weird. I think the draft is going to be strange. Gilbert, you don't have an offensive lineman going into the 9th, overall. That is crazy. Like the fact that so many people are like, it's just that this is going to be dominated by edge rushing, tight ends, and quarterbacks. I think that's what's going to dominate this draft. It's just gonna be nuts. I noticed that about your draft, and then obviously you didn't have receivers going that much. Like that was crazy as well. Because I've heard the rumor too that not a lot of that the only person that has a 1st round grade on them is a kid out of Ohio State. Oh. And other than that, that's the only
Jackson,
one.
Smith and Jigba.
Yeah. By the way, you missed a huge opportunity, Gilbert. I'm very disappointed.
I know. Your boy Michael Mayer, not Michael
No,
Myers.
no, not that. No. You could have gone 2 for 1, Gilbert. You could have given CJ Stroud his receiver from Ohio State. He could be going to Houston and being like, "Oh, I'm timid. I don't know anybody." And then Gilbert could have been the hero. And at 12, boom, here's your teammate. There's your receiver.
It's a down year for receivers, man.
There's your teammate.
It's not Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow.
Hey, 2.0. No, but I saw exactly what you were doing. I would have done I agree with most of the way your draft kind of fell. I thought that's exactly the way I would have gone with it. The only one is the Bijan Robinson one. That one's crazy. That one was interesting. 14th overall. That was interesting, but I understand why. The guy's explosive. He's a playmaker, and who knows? Maybe the Patriots do end up trading for Lamar Jackson, and maybe it's a Bijan Robinson and Lamar Jackson show in the backfield. But I for the most part, I agree with your mock draft. You're probably one of the more sensible mock drafts that I've seen compared to like other ones that I've seen on the internet.
Yeah, just I'll start with this. I don't want to drive myself crazy by doing trades. The one easy one to do is Colts moving up 1 spot to get their quarterback with the Cardinals, and because also too, you're the Cardinals. Like you don't want to trade back too far down. We could get Will Anderson as a really legit edge rusher. You don't want to mess around. Just trade down 1 spot, get a couple picks, and then you get Will Anderson. But the thing, Fernando, you kind of made me feel better here. The one thing I'm losing sleep over my mock draft. The rest I'm okay with. Is I think I had way too many edge rushers go early, so it kind of like maybe ruined the mock a little bit. I guess because like Lucas Van Ness, like people said he didn't even start a game. Iowa, maybe he did, not too many. Like that was kind of a reach for me, but like everything I was reading, this guy could play on the edge, could play on the inside.
Yeah.
What do the Lions need is like they need more defensive linemen to go with Aiden Hutchinson. And I'm like, okay, you know what? If you could play, like for me, like if you could do a little bit of everything, because why is Khalil Mack special? Because he can set the edge and also rush the quarterback. So I like the guys who could do a little bit of everything. And that does concern me a little bit. Like I also was doing a story that will come out later this week, like the top draft misses of the last 10 years. And Deion Jordan was one of them. And
Ooh,
he
Miami
didn't really start a
Dolphins.
game at Oregon, or maybe his final year didn't really like play too much. I was
Yeah.
like, ugh. So but everybody's different, right? Everybody's a different story. And then it had like a lot of teams need edge rushers. Like that's a big important piece of your roster. And I had like Nolan Smith going to the Eagles. I think Murphy from Clemson going to the Falcons. All these teams lack pass rushers, but these guys might not be like top 15 prospects. And that's where I kind of like maybe put a wrench in the mock. But again, who knows how these mocks are going to turn out? I'm pretty confident in Bryce Young, because everything you hear now, all the smoke is like they love Bryce Young. So we'll see about that. But the thing that's tricky too, Fernando, to kind of touch on all your topics or your points here, like one, there's no like legit star wide receiver. So you know what? I think my people might wait on a wide receiver.
Next
They don't
year, Marvin
Oh, yeah.
Harrison Jr.
Dude, every time I was doing like research on Stroud or and Jigba, they're like, man, every time I was watching tape on these guys, I couldn't take my eyes off of Marvin Harrison Jr. I was like,
He just does everything.
he's gonna be legit. So,
Yeah.
but like even like the cornerbacks, like not like this is like they're good, but you can't figure out which one's number one. So it's at that point, it's kind of like, what's your flavor? What do you need in the scheme? What do you need?
They all got burnt. Like there was not a Sauce Gardner in here
Yeah.
where you're like, oh, this guy was a shutdown. He could take guys away, or like Patrick Surtain a couple of years ago.
And
There's
that's the
nothing
thing, is
like
like
that in here.
the trend is like now, like if you get a top 10 corner, it might pay off. But like for a long time, you wouldn't draft corners that high. Like even the guy from the Lions, Okuda, right? Jeff Okuda, top 3. He hasn't done anything. So there's always a gamble. And then the tackle was the last thing you mentioned, Fernando. You know, I kind of like this for the Bears, because they also need a pass rusher, but they also got to protect Justin Fields. And the one that the people are really kind of sure about is the Skoronski. I don't want to butcher his name.
Yeah.
The guy from Northwestern.
Skoronski.
Like Skoronski, here you go. Like he's not as polished as Rashawn Slater was, his former teammate, but he's versatile. And sometimes you want just a floor to be that he's versatile. He could plug in guys inside or outside. Remember, just how Year was a versatile guy. I know it's a different kind of level of draft pick, but sometimes that's your safe floor and you're polished as a guard. Just take a chance and plug in the guy and don't think about it. So, but even tackle, like nobody is a for sure player. Like the guy I did a lot of research was Darnell Wright, the tackle from Tennessee. People say he's a stud, but don't play him a left tackle. He stinks at left. So you have to play him a right tackle. So it's really weird.
Did you see people are he's going after reporters on Twitter?
I didn't see that.
I saw he sent some guy, hey, numbskull, I could actually play left. Like he's going at people on like
I need to see this show.
He's DMing people. So
that's the knock on him. They couldn't play leather. All the research I was doing, it was weird. So, but I guess he's really good. But you saw Tristan Wirfs and Penei Sewell are doing well, right? Tackle.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you can't be sensitive over this stuff. I mean, and that's the thing. The people are gonna nitpick and they're gonna try and go after you for the next few months. They're gonna try and see where you come from, dude. If you don't think they've hit up your best friend, your best friend's best friend, like if you don't think
ex-girlfriend's best friend,
exactly, everybody, the girl that you dated for a little bit in high school, like they hit up everybody, bro. Like they got. I think they got like CIA people on there. Like it's a lot of craziness that they do with this. But Gilbert, a craziness on I think was it Easter? No, when?
Yeah, it was a Sunday, Easter. Yeah,
it was Easter Sunday.
Like,
okay,
any other day, OBJ, please. By the way, before we get started, the guy who wants so much attention, trying to hog the spotlight on Easter, so fitting for OBJ.
I know, for real. Let Jesus rise. Don't freaking take his
and then sign your contract.
I know. Odell Beckham Jr. signed a 1-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. Gilbert, does this mean that Lamar and the Ravens are close on a deal? And how do you think OBJ will fit with Lamar? And does this make the Ravens favorites in the AFC North?
At first I didn't like this deal at all for the Ravens, because you're paying a guy that, like when I saw the contract and it said up to $18 million, I'm like, up to, like it's got to, okay, the base has to be like $5 million. No way OBJ is getting close to $18 million. Like he hasn't played in over a year. So many injury. He's about to be like 30, I think. I forget what age he is. But he's been in the league since 2014. I remember that draft. And when the contract came out that guaranteed $15 million, like $15 million or OBJ, like what year is this? I was like, okay, I got to bash the Ravens for this. But then I started thinking, you see Lamar Jackson and OBJ talking on social media, FaceTiming, doing the screenshots on Instagram. If it costs you $15 million to force Lamar Jackson to bring down his price, just sign the freaking contract and let's get this over with. It might be worth it just for Lamar Jackson's sake. But the whole OBJ thing, like, I don't know. And like, Fran, the players are not good GMs. And maybe it was Lamar saying, get my boy OBJ and then I'll sign your freaking terrible contract. We'll stop complaining and we'll make it happen. For that sense, I like it. For contending in the AFC North, doesn't make a difference. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, they still reside in the AFC North. The Bengals are still the favorite in the AFC North.
Yeah. I remember when Odell Beckham Jr. and Baker Mayfield FaceTimed each other a couple of years ago when he got traded to the Browns. So
good memory.
I hope OBJ likes blocking. I hope he's very good at blocking. And I just don't see how this is going to work out. Even if Lamar is like good to go, like I just don't see if Odell's the kind of guy that's going to fit with Lamar. Like there's other receivers that I think could have helped benefit more. But I mean, I guess and for OBJ, like, why would you want to go here? Like, I'm not talking about going to you, but like you wouldn't have gone to Kansas City for like 10 mil, like a 1 year, $10 million contract. Like, I would have rather gone to KC and play with Patrick Mahomes or somewhere. Here, you're gonna get lost in the sauce, dude. Like, especially if Lamar leaves, like I don't know. I don't know if I would have gone here, especially if his stats aren't up to it. If he doesn't catch as many touchdowns or anything like that, I just see this as like one of those things where it could end. I just see it ending terribly for everybody, for John Harbaugh, for Lamar Jackson, and for OBJ. I just see this ending terribly. I didn't like this at all, but I mean, I guess we'll see, and we'll see what happens in the future. But I just don't like this. And then obviously, I don't think that Lamar Jackson deal is almost done. I don't think this puts it over the hill. I think if anything, now Lamar really is going to look around and be like, okay, like where else can I go? Is there any other place? Like, let me try and find somewhere, especially if like the Colts, like if I was the Colts or the Patriots or one of these teams, and if the Patriots really don't like Mike Jones, go get Lamar Jackson. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I just don't, I don't see this like, okay, you got me Lamar Jackson and like, or Lamar Jackson, OBJ. Like that would have been cool a couple of years ago, but now I don't know what he has left. Like I don't know if he's still good. I saw him catching shorts. Like okay, cool, but can he still hang on the football field? The last time I saw him, he actually did play really well in that Super Bowl game. Yeah. But I mean, it's been a year and a half now.
MVP, I think.
Yeah. I thought he was going to win MVP, to be honest. But I guess we'll see. I mean, I'm just not a big fan of this at all.
Honestly, sorry, one more thing, Fernando. Not contender, you said? Sorry.
No.
Yes, definitely. Well, they'll
their
be in
defense
the mix.
is falling off as well.
Yeah, that too. And with the Ravens, not to get a Ravens show, but they spent a lot of draft capital on some really good prospects last year. They haven't really done much. We'll see how they do in year two. And
I think John Harbaugh needs a change. By the way,
change.
I think he needs after the season. He should consider. Yeah.
We'll see about that one, but he will be a hot commodity and he'll be like the Sean Payton this year. But if that were to happen, we'll rewind the video like we do for 5 years from now. And the engagement question of the week. And real quick, Fernando, I honestly think it was about the money for OBJ. Like 100%. This guy knows he's probably done. He has a lot of injuries. You gotta guarantee some money for yourself. Maybe in his head's like, hey, it's like a 3 year, $5 million a year contract for me because the Jets, he gave the Jets a chance to match it. They're like, you're crazy, man. We're not gonna do that. So I think it was about the money. He probably couldn't care less about Lamar Jackson signing on the dotted line. So we'll see about that. But he got his money, and I think
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but that's what tells me I think he cared more about the money. And no knock on that. Get your money, man.
Not just that, but I mean, if he comes into the Jets and maybe like Garrett Wilson, like, do you really want your young quarterback? And I don't know how OBJ is in the locker room because the Rams, all they did was rave about him. But the thing is, there you had veterans in that locker room that would probably, he knew he needed to calm down, relaxing. He couldn't say much. Here, who knows how it's going to be, but very interesting. Gilbert, every draft, NFL draft season, we all have players we believe are going to be the future Hall of Famers. Give me one player that you were right about and one player that you were wrong about. To share some, and obviously if you share the reasons why and some of your fondest draft memories.
I'm gonna just cheat with this one, but sticking to the OBJ theme because I picked this guy like on the waiver wire because nobody wanted the first round wide receiver because he had a pulled hammy to start his career for OBJ, and he just had one of the best rookie seasons ever of all time in 2014, and that was one of my best stories in fantasy football when I used to be good at fantasy football, and OBJ became a star. But that's not a draft story, more fantasy football. Cam Newton, man, when I watched the guy play at Auburn, undefeated, win the title, just being like Anthony
I still
Richardson.
remember that game against Alabama. They were down 24-0
yeah.
at halftime. He brings them back, and they end up beating them at the end of the game. That was beautiful.
I think for me, it was like you had a special college season in the SEC.
Yeah.
Like, why are people were trying to pick Jake Locker? Remember that SI cover with Blaine Gabbert? I'm like, really?
Who was the guy from? Well, yeah, you said Ponder, right? It was Ponder,
Christian
Locker,
Ponder was also
and
that year, which I know
Gabbert,
very
and
well.
Cam Newton. Oh,
yeah. But so Cam definitely destroyed that class. I know he wasn't the career he wanted for longevity, but he did great. And then I was wrong by a whole lot of other quarterbacks. Fernando. I thought Baker Mayfield was going to be really good because he was such an accurate quarterback.
I'll agree with you on
Oklahoma.
that one.
Maybe I just like the whole moxie too, and I like.
Well, you know what? He's not done yet, so I'm going to let you.
I know you're kind of a secret Mayfield fan. And then Jalen Hurts, for the opposite reason, I didn't think he was going to do anything in the NFL. Too small, couldn't really throw. And he had the right scheme, and he balled out. And I'll give you this one so you can make fun of me. I said the Chargers would draft 2 over Herbert, and obviously I got that one wrong.
Oh, I remember Dan and Daygo. You told him that one, and he's like, "Why would I want him?"
Sell tickets.
Yeah, you know it's funny. So I mean, and those are some good ones. I only went with one each because it was one each. But I talked about so when I saw that game, the Justin Herbert game in the Rose Bowl, when I saw the way he was able to win with his legs against Wisconsin, I thought, okay, this kid knows that whether it's his arm, whether it's his legs, whatever he needs to do to win, he's going to try and win games. And that's what he did in that game. I was really impressed with him. I thought he was going to be a really good quarterback. I didn't think he was going to be what he is now, but I thought he would be a better quarterback than Tua. I just didn't like Tua coming out of the draft. But then I remember Joey Bosa, Casey Hayward, all these guys, and it was the defensive guys that were the ones telling us, you guys have, because it was a COVID year, we didn't get to stay during practice. Like literally Gilbert, Pop, Jeff, Reedy, and I would show up. We would go for about the first 20 minutes of practice. Then we would have to leave and we couldn't watch anything else. I know the GMs and the coaches love that aspect of it, but we were only able to watch a little bit of it, and we didn't see Justin play. The one time we saw Justin play, he threw a pick 6 to Melvin Ingram. So I mean, it was just one of those things. So I think I give myself a pat on the back for that one. The one that I thought was going to be a shutdown corner, he was going to be all elite. I thought he was going to be the next big thing, was Justin Gilbert. He was the first round draft pick from the Cleveland Browns. I liked him coming out because he could also return punts and kickoffs. So I thought, dude, this guy's going to be elite. Ended up not doing anything. Terrible. He was pretty bad. So
he started 3 career games in the NFL.
Yeah, it was terrible. So I definitely kicked myself in the
ruined the Gilbert name, by the way.
But yeah, there's not. I mean, I don't know if there's other ones I can think of off the top of my head. If I look through mock drafts, I could probably go, or old drafts, I could probably tell you, oh, this guy, that guy. But definitely, no, I ain't gonna give this one yet. I'll do it after this season, depending on what happens with the individual player or not. But yeah, so those are my 2. But a guy that we can't get enough of is Dan and Daygo. Let's go to him now and see what he's got cooking up for us.
Well, how in the hell are we doing, everybody? You're back here with your boy Dan and Daygo. For a quick reminder, do not forget to check us out on all social media platforms. We are everywhere. We are on the Twitter at Compas OTB. The OTB is capital. What? We're on the TikToks at Compas on the Beat. What? On the Instagrams at Compas on the Beat. What? And do not forget, we have so many programs going on. We just do it all here. We're the perfect utility man. We got House of Horns for all things Rams. What? We got What's Up Bolts for all things Chargers. What? We got regular Compas on the Beat for all things NFL and everything else. What? We got Combat Compas for the wrestling, the boxing, the MMAs, the UFC cards. What? And for all things the champions, we got Compas FC over there doing a great job. Do not forget to be a Compa, tell a Compa, check out all those shows. We appreciate you all. Anyway, let's get back to the program.
Thank you to Dan and Daygo for that. We here appreciate that, Dan and Daygo. I sound like I'm from a little Aussie, a little Southern accent. I don't know what I'm doing there.
You,
Gilbert.
real quick, you kind of did like the little teeth thing that Micah does from Love Is Blind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He likes doing that. I don't know why.
I don't know.
By the way, check out Love Is Blind recap episode from Compas on the Beat.
Yeah, actually check that out. I think it's interesting when four guys try and explain and break down love shows. So make sure you guys go check that out and leave us a comment. Let us know what you guys thought about it. But Gilbert, it's time for Rapid Fire. Something or nothing, Gilbert. Carson Palmer, former Heisman Trophy winner, he came out and said in the QB Room podcast that Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. Is this something or nothing?
I'm gonna say nothing. As a former Bengal, it's probably being a homer. Probably really close with Joe Burrow. You know, I think Carson Palmer had a good career with the Bengals. I'm sure he still has ties there and connections. I know it ended kind of bad when he went to the Raiders, but I don't know. He's a really good quarterback, right? Joe Burrow's a really good quarterback. I don't think he's in the level of Patrick Mahomes. Like the guy just won the second Super Bowl, so it's tough to match that. But maybe in a couple years, and like maybe I'm just going based off accolades, and that's unfair. We're going based on just talent alone. Maybe Joe Burrow does have a good case, but I don't think nobody else does. So it's Patrick Mahomes, and then Joe Burrow, and then I don't care about anybody else right now. So yeah, I guess it's maybe a little, but I really think it's nothing. It's just Bengal on Bengal support.
I think it's more about he sees who's on the sideline for each guy, and I think he says, "Oh well, Andy Reid, look at him! Like he can make everything easy for this guy. He can win with Alex Smith. He's won with Donovan McNabb. He got Nick Foles paid. He's gotten a lot of guys paid. So Kevin Kolb, he's gotten a lot of guys that are just like, who the hell are these guys? But I mean, I think it's a little bit of what you're saying too. That it is more about, but man." He got bashed by Chiefs fans. Chiefs fans were pissed.
They actually like to comment and watch videos and stuff like that. Okay.
Oh yeah. So if Chiefs fans were pissed, then Coach Jason Brown said that he tweeted this out and said, "But what do I know?" Because he says that he thinks Burrow's better than Mahomes, and he's like, "I had death threats from Chiefs fans. I got all kinds of stuff in my DM." So it was interesting. I mean, people are really heated about this debate. I don't think it's anything. I just think, like you said, it's Carson Palmer backing up his boy and saying, "Hey, Bengals fans, you guys got a good one." Like, hey, maybe it's a little bit of selling season tickets too, being like, "Hey, you guys know we got Burrow. Go watch him. Go play. Go this. Go that."
Maybe I don't know if it's happened. Maybe double check. But is Carson Palmer's jersey retired with the Bengals? Maybe he's trying to like get some a favor there in Cincinnati.
I don't think I don't think they have any jerseys retired.
No, I don't know. I guess yeah, I'm not surprised. But also, like, you kind of remind me, Fernando, maybe like, do you think Zach Taylor, the head coach of the Bengals, is a little underrated? Like, he's done a nice job.
Oh, they have one, Bob Johnson.
Oh, okay. Well, if you only got one,
we don't have our boy Anthony Munoz jersey retired.
Oh, that too. Yeah, Anthony Munoz, Ocho Cinco. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think, Fernando? Is Zach Taylor a little underrated, or do you like what I think he's done a fine job there.
I thought you know what? And you remember he was on the hot seat when Burrow got tore his ACL and everything. Like people were like, get him out of here. He sucks. And all of a sudden, he's taking them to the Super Bowl, and this year, obviously, AFC Championship against them. So I think he's actually done a really good job, and better than almost any other assistant or anybody else under the McVay tree. Yeah.
He's not a bad scheme designer, but obviously when you have Andy Reid, it's a different advantage for you as a quarterback.
Yeah, but I mean, and it's no knock on Patrick Mahomes. I mean, hell, they traded up, they got him, they made him into they made him, and then he's made himself into what he is today. So I can't knock anything for that. Gilbert, something or nothing. The body transformation from retired NFL offensive lineman Russell Okung. The guy weighed. It made. There you go. Sunday, instead of letting him have his day, Jesus Christ have his day. People had to come out and do stuff. This is Russell. You remember Russell Okung?
Russell Okung. He has risen from his body transformation.
Dude, look at him. I need to get on the Russell Okung diet. I don't know what I don't know what that is, but definitely interesting to see him. I mean, we saw him in the locker room 3 years ago. Look at him now, man. That's incredible.
Yeah, he was there for the last year of Rivers, right? He wasn't there for Herbert, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's wild to see, and it actually kind of makes me feel like, damn, like time kind of flies. Like that's been
I
already
know.
what 4 years since, or maybe 3 since
Yeah,
Okung was with
remember he got
Rodgers.
traded that offseason
Oh yeah,
for
oh for
what's
Trey
the name of
Turner,
the
Trey
yeah, Trey
Turner,
Turner.
and that was a terrible trade on both sides because they both stunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, he had he
Well,
was a
remember
big
Russell
left
Okung had that
tackle.
near-death experience,
Oh yeah, that's what it was. A
and maybe that's why
pulmonary.
he needed to yeah,
Oh yeah, that does make sense. I didn't think about that. Yes, he had health concerns with his heart, and
his
then
final year with the Chargers.
that could be why he well, he wasn't playing well, but that could be why he retired a little earlier than
Yeah.
expected, and now he's losing weight. So shout out to him.
And yeah, that's awesome. And you see guys do it before. I mean, and I'm gonna go back to
Mike Pouncey, by the way, I saw his Dolphins Hall of Fame, Team Hall of Fame ceremony, and he looked pretty slim too.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. See, that's mostly offensive linemen. I mean, they still work out, they still do their stuff, and they drop weight. So that's
Will
awesome.
Thomas, another one too.
Yeah, Gilbert, something or nothing. Tyreek Hill telling a radio station in Kansas City, "I'm going to finish out this contract, and then I'm going to call it quits."
I don't know, maybe little nothing. Like it's 3 more years, right? You know, he's already played in the NFL since 2016. And by the way, he was drafted in the fifth round. I forget, man. So what a gem for that by the Chiefs, by the way, for Tyreek Hill. But get your money. He's always doing stuff off the field, like on Twitch and TikTok. So maybe he has a lot of aspirations, and no, not a knock on him for planning his future, man. So do what you got to do.
Yeah, that's what he said. He has a lot of business ventures that he wants to pursue. So hey, kudos to him, man. I mean, if he wants to continue doing that, that's awesome. Definitely kudos to him. And if he knows when to call, maybe he wants to walk away with this while he still can walk away in a great way and stuff. So kudos to him if he does end up doing that.
Your speed goes
Gil-
first too. He probably knows it too.
Exactly. Gilbert, in honor of the movie Draft Day, you know, the draft is coming up. What player in this draft is your Vontae Mack? You're going to draft him no matter what.
I still gotta watch this movie completely. By the way, maybe I'll do that in a week or so. Yeah, I
On
see
HBO
the
Max,
name.
by the way.
Oh, really? It's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll try to watch this week. But yeah, so I think from reading how you guys made it seem, this guy's like the intriguing prospect, right? The guy you really want, or am I wrong here?
No. It's just like you're gonna take him no matter what. Like this is
Oh,
your
okay.
guy. Like he's gonna end up. Like you think he's gonna end up being the next big thing.
This is definitely my man crush of the draft is Anthony Richardson, just by the high ceiling, the crazy level of physical gifts, and when you got a rocket arm like that, you could work on accuracy. So he's well gifted, and if he gets to the right landing spot, man, take Anthony Richardson if you can.
I'm gonna, because I love my brother so much, I'm gonna go with him and pick a hog. Peter Skoronski, I think that dude's gonna be legit. I love the offensive line. I just think that Northwestern has done a really good job with their offensive linemen. You go Rashawn Slater, now you go him. I think they're really starting to build something special there, and I like him. I think he's gonna end up being an elite talent, and I really think he's gonna grow into his own. And if he goes to Chicago, I think he really is gonna do a good job there.
Supposedly he has short arms, but we've heard that.
That's what you heard from Rashawn
Yeah.
Slater too. So yeah, T-Rex arms there.
But Dan prefers shorter arms, by the way. We need in the trenches with Dan Daygo soon, but he's just not a draft guy, so we'll see.
Well, we'll do something with him. Gilbert, continuing with the draft day movie, is there a Bo Callahan in this draft class? Bo Callahan was a quarterback who everybody thought he was going to be a slam dunk, but then you look at him, but then you start doing some research on him, and you're like, I don't know, man. I don't think this guy's a leader. I don't think he's a next generation superstar. I don't think he has it.
Yeah, for me, the more I keep doing and digging and doing research is Hendon Hooker. People are afraid, one, the torn ACL, and that the level of scheme is kind of like at Tennessee is like a kind of a maybe not a pro style, but one that makes things very easy for you and it's very simple, training wheels, and he was kind of struggling with that. So people like Hendon Hooker now. I think you said there's like a mix. Now he's rising, but then it's like a divide. It's like a party. Like you might invite him to your party, and then some people
It feels like Trey Lance.
Yeah, I ain't touching that guy. So, and he's older too. He's 25 years old. So that's the knock in the draft. You're a little too old. But yeah, I think that's probably Hendon Hooker. It feels like people are either like him or really hate him for some reason.
I'm gonna go with Will Levis. There's something about him that I just don't trust. There's something.
I know why.
What?
I know why. Because his weird coffee mail thing, and he ruined my coffee like this weekend, this morning, and every time I'm about to make my coffee, I stumble on the video, Fernando. It ruined my coffee.
Gilbert's like one day he's gonna like mayonnaise is gonna spill into his coffee, and he's
He's
gonna be
like,
like,
"Oh,
"Oh
it's
my
good."
god!" But yeah, I don't know. There's something about Will Levis that I'm just not buying, so I'm gonna go with him. I think there's some weirdo stuff about it. I don't know.
People say he's too buff for a quarterback.
Really? I don't know.
Like
I don't know.
he's too built.
I don't know. I just don't think he's that next big thing, but definitely some interesting stuff. Let's now bring in two people that are definitely going to add something to the show. Did Shohei Ohtani play yesterday
Yes.
or Sunday?
Yeah,
he hit
he
it?
hit a home run.
At a home run, bro.
My bad, Vic, the producer. Hello. Did you have fun watching him? Is he fun to watch in person?
Oh yeah. I don't know why Angel fans were saying doing MVP chants for Mike Trout instead of Shohei Ohtani, but yeah,
Might be the burger of the week, by the way, Victor. Now think about it. How do you do MVP for Mike Trout but chants, but not for Shohei? It's so weird.
Yeah, that was pretty weird, especially when he's the last one who won it for the Angels. But hey,
I think they think he's gonna leave after the season.
We were having that conversation. Gilbert was asking me about it, so we kind of got into it about Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, he's gonna be a Padre probably.
Yeah, the way the Padres are spending nowadays.
Bro, you're not kidding.
I am here, and let me tell you something. You are lucky I could not break this glass during that little Carson Palmer segment, because the way you disrespect the son of Odin, the god of lightning, it is unbelievable, Gilberto. I don't understand it. Let everybody know in the comments what a big scumbag he is for disrespecting one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Unbelievable.
Did you see one of the comments, by the way, in the YouTube video where you're defending Justin Herbert and somebody's like, "Big whoop, man! Stop crying about Justin Herbert not having anybody during the season."
Oh, did he really? No, I didn't even see it.
Go and respond. Go.
We don't want to listen to facts. That's why facts don't care about your feelings.
It might be my burners. I don't know. So it might be like
probably. We all got burners. JC's got burners. Eddie's got burners. We all got burners. Apparently,
it might be Gilberto Ramzano. There you go.
No, scumbag.
Vic, what are you looking forward to in the draft?
I just think it's going to be a crazy. I really appreciated what Gilbert his draft, because honestly, like I feel like it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be really, really crazy. There's going to be a lot of chaos. I think like we're already hearing that the Texans might not draft the second quarterback. I mean, and then you're looking at who trades up if they don't pick CJ Stroud. Is he the Bo Callahan of this draft now? Because everybody had him going number one. And then I as you guys were talking about earlier, like we're gonna have a big run on cornerbacks, tight ends, offensive linemen, and then once those four quarterbacks go, or whenever they go, the more I was talking to Gilbert about Will Levis, I was like, well, why is he dropping? Why do you have him going 16? And like now I'm starting to see that, like even in the comments, people were like, well, I don't see Will Levis dropping. And then like the more I thought about it, like just let's go back and look at some of the drafts. We're talking in our group chat about how some of the quarterbacks, how we think about them going into draft season always changes, and there's always things that happen during the draft. And I just think we're going to see a bunch of trades. It's going to be crazy. Like even reading Peter King's column yesterday or last night, he talked about it. Like we're going to see some craziness in the draft, and honestly, I can't wait for it.
Speaking of craziness,
by the way, I'm still mad
about
that.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of craziness, Dan, what are you looking forward to in this draft?
Absolutely nothing. I don't give a rat's ass about the draft. Call me a hater. This might be a hot take. Honestly, I think what the draft represents is almost like putting one bullet in a revolver, spinning that sumbitch, and then holding it straight to your head. I don't think really whether these guys are going to hit or miss is exactly the same odds as you taking a round. And it's like, to me, it makes no sense. You see all the time, guys come from the best programs, Alabama's, the Ohio State's, this and that. They go in the first round, and what do they end up doing? They end up sucking. So I'm not a huge draft guy. I like free agency. I think when you have, some time in the NFL, you can kind of see who's up to speed, who can improve, and who cannot. So I'm more of a free agency guy. I always, like, if I could, I'd skip the draft season. I can't stand it.
So are you saying you trust your front office from the Chargers? Like, hey, do your thing, and we'll
Frau,
see
get
what
him
happens.
away from me. He's trying to get me in trouble, Frau. He's trying to
Just
get
trust
me
the
in trouble.
process. Let your team do what they got to do, and then they call you in September, right?
He's leading the witness, Frau. This is very dangerous. My lord, if you're watching, it wasn't me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Stress free though. I like the process.
My lawyer has reminded me of my Fifth Amendment rights to not incriminate myself, so that's the one I'm gonna go with that.
And the contract's behind you, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. The contract that Gilberto all of a sudden thought that I had.
All right, let's move on now to obviously.
Yeah, before he gets me in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just keep on going. It is time now for burial of the week.
There you go.
Rest in peace.
I wonder.
What of an ugly ass face was that?
We got thrown out of a hotel because of we were sitting there admiring the Undertaker. But I guess
burial of the week.
Oh, that guy was terrible. We got two Mexicans out here. Dan, I'm gonna let you go first.
All right, I'm gonna go first. This is my burial of the week. I got you know what? I'm loaded with hot takes today. Are you ready? Because let me tell you something. I already gave little Daniel a bunch of crap that I thought baseball is the softest sport in the game. The other night, Sunday night, when he has risen, by the way, shout out my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We were watching the Padre game, and it just confirmed how soft this sport is. All of a sudden, I'm watching it's like a split screen on the TV.
You should have been
seeing, you're seeing like the pitcher and the batter, and then Manny Machado. I'm like, Brown, what the hell's going on? Why am I looking at him? What's on his shirt? I'm like, at one point, I was like, who the hell's he talking to? Now, all of a sudden, they're interviewing people mid-game, like while he's playing defense. What a joke. What a joke of a sport this has become. I miss the days where they could take steroids, hit home runs, and chew dip in the dugouts. What the hell are we doing?
But watch this. Dan, he's going to be the biggest Padre fan in September.
That's right. You just wait. In September, it's all coming out of the closet. I'm amped up. Don't you worry. I at least admit I jump on the bandwagon. It's not June. I don't watch baseball yet. The only reason it was on is because it was a family event, and that's why I said it's not June yet. I watch it after soccer. So, yeah, baseball's absolutely soft. Why are you interviewing people during games? Watch some moron miss a grounder towards them. They're going to blame the people in the booth. And it's going to be all pandemonium. It's going to be crazy.
They actually do that in a non-spring training game. They interview players.
Dude, they played the Braves on Sunday, talking to him about his favorite popsicle or whatever stupid thing they were asking him. Unbelievable.
All right, Vic, what was your burial this week?
Mine has to do with Star Wars fans, and it goes back to we talked about earlier. I talked about Ahmed Best and how he played Jar Jar Binks, and how he was kind of he was I guess ostracized by the fans just because he played Jar Jar Binks. And then you had Hayden Christensen, who played Darth Vader, Anakin, I should say. And it took a while for him to come back. And then you've had others like John Boyega. You had other actresses. There was an Asian actress who was in the sequels, who kind of was also just had like a bad, she just treated terribly by Star Wars fans. And I mean, not to kind of spoil anything, but Lizzo and Jack Black kind of joined Star Wars this past week on The Mandalorian. And now people are going after how this is a joke, and like they're not taking it seriously with the fans, and like, you know, we grew up with lightsabers and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, look, like if I'm not a big Star Wars fan. Like I wasn't. I got into it once The Mandalorian kind of started, and then I started watching Clone Wars and Rebels, and I got really into it just because it was something that I can get into because of, you know, the people who were in charge of it, like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. And now, like I was warned by Megan, like, hey, like the Star Wars fans are really very toxic, and so just be careful as you get into the fandom. And sure enough, like this week has been just terribly watching. Like I couldn't even listen to some of the podcasts that I usually listen to just because of how bad it was this week. Just listening to people, like whether it's people who do this for a living and people who don't, it's been really bad. Like, and you know, this is what kind of makes it bad when you're trying to get into whatever fandom you want to get into, and it's just been really bad to see. So that's my berry of the week is Star Wars fans.
Yeah,
Oh.
for real. Blame the executives and the directors. It's not the actor's fault. But I want to tell you something real quick. I know why Gilberto pretends not to watch Star Wars, because he was the one leading the attacks on Jar Jar Binks and all these other guys. He was the one leading this hate fan clubs. Yeah, exactly. See, that's why I'm trying to bury all that.
I'm not the one burying nerds over here. That's what Victor's doing. So
Star
come on,
Wars
we're all
nerds.
people, you know. But he's burying the nerds, and that's why I'm a casual Star Wars fan. I don't
But
dig deep into.
You know what the crazy part is, though?
Reddit channels.
You can tell how much the executives are backpedaling. Remember, they were going to start this whole new franchise and start all this new stuff. Now they've backpedaled, they've canceled all of that, and they're just going back to Rey. I'm sure they're going to bring back all these they're going to bring back all these old characters.
The sequels were supposed to catapult them to probably another 8 or 6.
Yeah,
or
they were going
whatever.
to do some other stuff with them, and now all of a sudden they're going back to the Skywalker saga, and they're going back.
Oh, careful, Frau. Hilbert's a big Rise of Skywalker fan. Careful.
We get it. You hate change. Go back to the 1940s.
No, the original 3 were the best ever. So
the Rise.
It should have stopped there. It should have stopped there.
Revenge of the Sith is the best one.
The first 3 are terrible. The prequel. There you go.
You are an abomination, sir, and I will leave it at that.
Let's move on.
Revenge
but stop burying the nerds, guys. I guess I'll start here because someone wants to piggyback here, and I kind of didn't want to do it here because we have our own show now, Love Is Blind. But maybe you missed it, or you get double here. So, real quick, a mini burial. The freaking ballpark's charging $18-20 for a beer. I left the ballpark, bro.
How many did you have?
Like 2, and
the cup water,
leg, bro. Like it's like
cup water's cheaper and it gets you drunk.
Cup water,
cut water. Those little cans.
Oh,
I get the tequila ones, and you remember we went to a game together.
I don't know. You bury me for being the sucker for buying 2 cans of beer there, but yeah, I hate the prices there. I don't know why. But I have a good time going to the ballpark.
Bolsa, my love.
I know I gotta rob it.
My love.
Pregame heavy there, but let me start off here, and also check out Love Is Blind, the recap show, episodes 1 through 8, and we're gonna have episodes 9, 10, 11 right coming out this week. We'll get it done. And the little sample from episode 10, I want to say, I'm just gonna bury people in general. Before I don't want to specify too much. Maybe you will, Fernando. But if you need to take a photo shoot with your partner in underwear with a creeper hipster in a beanie, just being right next to you, who it's got to look like.
You know who he reminded me of? Remember in Billy Madison when he's studying with Chris Farley and he's like, "That is correct."
The guy with the beanie.
Dude, I thought they were gonna rope him in a 3-way. That's what I thought the whole thing was
like,
about.
I thought they get in between them. Like, I take a picture. Take a picture here. It was really
awkward.
Creepy. But I know people. I don't know people. Like, this is why I have better friends. If I know somebody who takes pictures like that, you're not my friend. But there are people in the world who like to take lingerie pictures with somebody else taking pictures for you. And if you're gonna do it, don't get a creepy guy who's 4 feet tall wearing the giant beanie in the middle of the summer, because it looked pretty hot out there because the sun was coming in. Yeah, it was just a terrible setup. And then for Kwame to actually go with this when you don't even like Chelsea,
exactly.
Come on, man, you're leading the poor girl on. And also, Chelsea, why did you want to do this? Terrible. Shame on both of you.
Dude, Chelsea was so high on my leaderboards. Then, like the last few episodes, it's been dipping. Crazy.
Asking all those questions. I mean, I'd be mad too. But
the questions, are you serious? That's not the problem, you scumbag. I swear.
He's a little desperate. That's what I'm gonna say.
Bro,
I thought the photo shoot was a little weird. I mean, why would you want to do all that? And then the way they were kind of doing all the weird stuff, like,
dude, she said that was her dream as a child. I'm like, who dreams about taking half-naked photos with your fiance?
I don't know. That's
who should have sent those to? Her mom?
I don't know what they're gonna do with all those photos, but that's some.
No, that I think
page.
Sorry, like I have to say this because like I was telling Gilbert about this. I think that this is her way of trying to get her photo or whatever, like her modeling career going. Like I think she's tired of whatever her job is, and she was like, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that I get my modeling career started with all this, because like it was even like brand underwear and bras and
yeah.
it was
The bra and panty match.
But I mean, like
exactly.
everybody with an iPhone now is a model. I mean, I don't think it took a cameraman and all this studio
Good
crap.
luck to her. You know, she needs better connection with photographers. By the way,
Exactly.
That's why she's
All
on
right.
the show for the clout.
That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not really gonna say much because I didn't really have a burial this week. But
Do
now
a
let's-
revival. Give us something positive, Frown.
that's why I said positivity. It's a positivity this week.
you're still mad about the WWE
Gilberto!
media. That's why.
Don't
Huh?
you dare!
You're still mad about the
beat
WWE
Frown
media.
up.
No, I'm not mad about anything. I'm actually. It's been a relaxing last couple of days.
Good vibes, Fernando.
What?
Good.
Good vibes from you.
Good vibes.
It's time for Uno Mas. Dan, go ahead.
Okay, so I saw literally the worst nightmare in Megan. That is not your fiance, obviously. Vic. The movie. I just
You
remember.
actually seen that?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good. Like it was entertaining, but like exactly what I thought from the beginning is like this thing is an abomination. This is why AI should not be continuing to grow, but that's a story for another time. Like it's so funny to me how people think these machines are like as soon as you give one of these things like its own consciousness or thought process, they think like they can still say, oh, whatever, turn off, and it's going to turn off. Obviously, it's going to, whatever. I don't want to give spoilers either. The only thing I'm going to say is it was very entertaining. I went in with low expectations, came out with high satisfaction. So I'm going to give it like, I'll give it like an 85. What?
Would you buy one?
No, God, no. God, no. I don't even trust the Alexas or who's the one of those talking things. Yeah, no, I don't trust
What was your
them.
rating? I didn't hear it.
I'd say
avocado.
85. I'd say 85. It was really solid. Like I'm not. It's fresh, dude. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna say like would I recommend it if you're bored? Yeah, sure, no worries. But it was pretty solid for it being like this is the problem I've had with new horror is half of the time new horror is just absolutely.
I know what you heard.
Terrible.
Fernando.
Let's move on. You ruined it. Let's move on.
I know what you heard.
What an abomination! What an abomination! HORROR from.
What genre was this, by the way?
No, it's over. It's over. It's over.
I
want to go see The Pope's Exorcist and Evil Dead. By the way, those look like they're going to be good.
I'll keep mine short just because I don't know if my Wi-Fi is going to drop. So I'm going to say the two best movies I've seen this year. I saw them back to back in the movie theater. Air, the Michael Jordan one, was really good. It was well done by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Sonny Vaccaro, I followed his career since he was the one that said, hey, Kobe Bryant's going to be the next big thing back in 95, and he was right. And his story, like I was hoping they would do a documentary. Instead, they did a big film on him, and it was well done. Like the story, the music is really good in this movie. If you have a chance, go and watch it. It's it'll probably be up for an Oscars. With a lot of the things that they did here between music and some of the other stuff. The other one is the Dungeons and Dragons movie. It's Guardians of the Galaxy with D&D. It knows what it wanted to do with this movie. It was practical. Like everything was really good in this movie. It's another really good movie. Both movies are over 100% for me on
really?
Yes. If you get a chance to go see them, go. I really recommend it. It's
100%.
Yeah, no, not 100. I said over 90.
No,
you said 100.
Oh, you said over 100. So you meant over 90?
Yeah, no, I said over 90.
He's throwing it down now.
Like both around 95. But if you go look at both Rotten Tomatoes and as well as the crowd, I forget what it's called. The audience, they're both over 95%. So if you get a chance, go and watch it. They're worth it. If you want to wait and watch it when it comes out in DVD as well, but I would say go at least Dungeons and Dragons. Go watch it in the movie theater.
Did you watch Scream?
I did not. I have not seen that one. Just because I haven't seen the other ones, but I've heard great things about it. I've heard great things about it.
Didn't they just release one last year and another one this year?
Oh,
how many do we need?
Last year's was terrible. Last year's was so dumb.
Like it was like, this one came out on DVD or why is it coming out?
Supposedly they think that they can take it into in a different direction, and this was their first attempt at it. So supposedly it did way better in the box office than any one of their other movies. So
Never
Just
seen
like
it.
we're gonna get Fast and Furious 85, we're gonna get a Scream
you
52.
stay quiet. You've already done yours. Gilbert, go ahead.
Roman Reigns will still be the champion for 85.
Hell
Shout
yeah.
out, Tribal Chief, the one.
Yeah. So mine, I'm gonna hog the spotlight like Victor. I have two. I'm actually surprised I watched this
Two?
much. I was trying to watch Succession and I kept getting roped into something else. And I got into TikTok and I saw a clip of the movie Tetris on Apple. I never heard of it, but TikTok got me. Good promoting from whoever did that. And it was like it's the story of how the guy was trying to make Tetris big, I guess in the United States or wherever, away from the commies, pretty much. So it was about
Yeah,
the guy who created Tetris was Russian, but in the Soviet Union they wouldn't allow things like that to come out. And when it got too big and too popular, this one guy, his mission was to make sure that game comes out to the entire world, and it was like pretty crazy. I think you might like it, Dan. So it hooked me in. So I'll give it a 82 rating on the fresh avocados there. And then for this one, I'm gonna try to find my words because I am not a movie buff like you, Victor. Like I feel like you probably know what you're looking for here. But I would just say for Beef on Netflix, the storytelling was pretty outstanding. Is that like
Oh,
the showrunners, whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it?
it like if you
I've
just
seen the
watch the trailer, it
Yeah.
looks like it's like for a movie, and I didn't even know it was for a series,
It,
Gilbert.
it felt like a very long movie, but it didn't feel long. And I'll just say this: if you want to watch Beef on Netflix, have your mind prepared because it's a very depressing. You need
like
to have
the
the right
Joker?
mindset because what was that?
Like the Joker?
A little bit like that, but like in a different intense level. Like it's just pretty
Really?
much the way it starts off
Road
is
rage.
road rage, and it just
Yeah.
goes really, really wrong, and it keeps taking another turn. But that's what makes it fascinating. The storytelling you don't expect it, but it just leaves you like depressed at times, and it kind of reminds you of how crappy life can be. But then if you
Yeah.
really find the positive in this movie, it's like when you're kind of knocked down, like good things happen. That's like what I'm trying to say. It's
I
like
get knocked down and I get up again.
I don't want to be cheesy, but there you go. Make that a clip, by the way. It's pretty funny. But like when life knocks you down, like you get up kind of thing. And it's like you find new people in your life. They're like, oh, if I never did that, like I never would have, done this, or that wouldn't bring out the best of me, or like I wouldn't change my boring life if this didn't happen to me. So it's very depressing, and there's a lot of like you get punched in the face a lot. Like, man, that's pretty sad. But I watched it after I got home from the Angels game. I binged the whole thing. It's like a 10 episode series, but they're like 40-minute episodes, 35 minutes. So, but just have your mindset ready to maybe be like, life is terrible, man. Why we're all here? Why are we on Earth right now? So I'll give it a 94 on the rating.
Wow.
That good. If you expect something really like terrible and sad, if you don't mind that, it's really high. It's just the storytelling. I really like it.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
There you go.
Dude, I
Just
thought you were
pic-
going with the other
Just
rock.
picture Mickey talking to you throughout the whole movie when you're getting
Yeah.
just punched in the face after sad part after sad part after sad part.
Hell yeah. All right. My turn. I didn't really do anything for this. I just wanted to throw
I
in
think
some
Big
different
Froze.
stuff.
Do you see him?
Did, oh, yeah,
Huh?
he did.
What?
Yeah, we lost Victor. He froze.
Froze.
That's actually
Oh.
pretty spot on.
I guess just keep going. That is really solid.
It took me a while to figure out he was gone.
So here's some Easter.
Oh my god.
Some Easter.
Look at Vic actually likes it.
He's
So
excited.
smiling.
You look at Vic loves his costume, apparently.
Look at this one.
Oh my god,
Whoa.
dude, look at it. He's like his eyes all messed up and red and everything. That thing looks demonic.
Oh no!
Oh
What is
my
that?
god.
No, give me nightmares right now.
Dude, that guy for sure. Never mind.
That's like
There's
Bundy
gonna be a
Jr.
crime doc on Netflix about
This
all
kid
that.
has like an
guy
adult
before.
face. It's kind of creeping me out too.
Dude, isn't it funny when you look at old pictures
Oh,
how
no.
weird a lot of it is?
Is it supposed to be like scary or
Bunny.
not?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
supposed to be
intentional?
scary. The scariest.
okay.
Oh, there you go. He's back. Shout out. Shout
Oh,
out.
all right. Oh, he made it back. Yeah, you froze, man.
I know.
But it was a good picture, of you, by the way. You had a nice
Yeah, for real.
smile.
He was
And,
smiling. Yeah.
yeah, you could have fooled me for the next 10 minutes if damn near
Oh my
barred up.
god.
Look at this one.
Oh wow, these are terrible.
Oh, the first
That's
one
why
was
it's so
terrible.
Oh my god.
I'll show you the first one in a minute, Vic. Look at this.
No.
I don't need to see it again, bro.
Dude, I don't know.
Look at
Like
this
as a
one.
parent. Oh, that one at least looks realistic, I guess. But that's funny that they're crying. But like, if you're a parent, how do you bring them to some of these guys? Like that one looks weird.
Oh
Then the
no.
creepo with the face paint was even worse.
Oh,
All right,
no.
last thing before we head out, Gilbert. I used to love throwing these your way. Let's see what you think. Would you write this for $100,000?
No way.
Look
You
at that.
wouldn't write
That
it
looks
for
like so,
$100,000.
that looks like so much
serious?
fun.
No thanks.
So basically, for the folks that aren't watching on YouTube, go and watch on YouTube. But if you don't want to, it's like this, like you're like on a wheel and it's like spinning, but it's going up, like it's throwing you upside down. It's throwing you for a loop. It's crazy. Like it's just spinning you and throwing you for a loop over and
country is
over and
this?
over.
It looks
again.
like that. Remember that toy like that we had back in the? I don't know if anybody had it, but it was like with the hand and it clicked back and forth. That's what it looks like. Or
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But it looks like something out of Spy Kids. Remember number 2?
Yeah,
where, like,
yeah.
they have like weird rides. I don't know. It's just interesting. But
For
Gilbert,
$100,000 get on that.
I don't know. I don't do well with roller coasters, especially not like that. What the hell is that? What
Oh, who
country is it?
cares?
Even
You
the
can
country, it's like
revive
some poor country. I'm not gonna risk my life for that. Is
There he
it
is.
here in the States?
There he is.
Somewhere in the
Elitist.
middle of the country.
Yeah, I don't know where this is.
He sees like random woods.
No, it's
probably
about
in a poor
trust.
country. It's not an amusement
It's about
park.
It's the architect, man. Is it George Constanza from Seinfeld doing the architect? And like, no.
This guy. We appreciate you guys so much for checking out another episode of Compas on the Beat. Don't forget to check out all things Compas on the Beat on the YouTube page. Don't forget to subscribe before May 31st. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers. We'll be giving away a hat, a hoodie, and a sticker. So make sure you get on there. Comment below. Let us know that you want it. Gilbert will enter you double if you comment on here on Instagram and on TikTok. I believe that's what he said. So definitely make sure you go check all that out. Dan has a shirt. Make sure you go check out all that stuff. And don't forget to check out What's Up Bolts, House of Horns. Like we told you guys, Combat Compas, man. That we got some fun stuff planned for that. It's gonna make for some interesting content in the next few months. We're excited about it. And don't forget to check out all things Compas on the Beat. But we appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to also check out Compas FC. Champions League is back this week, so we're gonna break all that stuff down. It's gonna be fun, especially because it's Bayern, Man City, Manchester United, or Chelsea versus Real Madrid. And we got some Italian themes on the other side. So definitely go check all that stuff out. We appreciate you guys so much. But for the time being, Gilbert, ¿sabes qué? Vámonos.
I didn't know Chelsea played soccer from Love is Blind, but there you have it. Okay.
Boo, you lost it after that terrible pun. Let's get out of here.
I know Chelsea. They're from the Scottish League, whatever it's called.
Oh,
English Premier League. I know where they're from. Just kidding.
no.
And on that note, go watch Compas FC. Check out Combat Compas, What's Up Boats, House of Horns. We got it covered. And check out all the content, compasonthebeat.com. Get your merch, compasonthebeatmerch.com. Ya nos vamos, pues. Ya, vámonos.